So I was pretty excited when Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition was announced to be coming to Nintendo Switch last year. I really enjoyed the combat, in particular with this franchise. This is one of those JRPGs that even if you don't typically like them because you find the gameplay to be boring, you may want to actually check out the Tales series because the combat in it is just great. And when they said the game was getting a collector's edition, I mean, come on. You guys already know me, I'm weak for physical collector's editions, so I instantly pre-ordered the Switch version. And yesterday, at the time of this recording, it arrived. I cracked it open, everything was accounted for, but there was one issue. This steelbook case does look awesome, right? But since I know many of you are Switch owners, you probably notice something weird about it instantly. It isn't shaped like a Switch case. It looks like it's sized for a disc. And you would be right in assuming that. This is a disc case. Has no way of carrying a Switch card inside of it. Now, my first thought, as is probably yours as well, is they screwed up. They sent me the wrong version, the PS4 one perhaps. But I looked over the box that all the collector content came in, and noticed there is no system branding on it. And on top of that, I did get a Switch copy of the game with it. Yeah, I was puzzled. So I followed that up by going online to look up and see if there were any unboxing videos of the Switch version. Did anyone else also get a steelbook for a disc?
Definitive edition. So that's very cool. Open it up. Oh, please, that is tight. But open it up and it's clear. I guess you can put the manual or any information over there to the left, and the disc can go on the right. So best believe this is what I'm going to be. Mistakes were made.
So, I mean, you can put a disc in here, but you cannot put your Switch game in here. I mean, you can, but you can't. Just not a good place to put it, that's all. It'll be like bouncing around inside the game.
To this point, I have not found any existence of a Switch case. I do not believe they exist. I think everyone, regardless of what platform you bought it on, was just sent this same thing. So next, I went to the Bandai Namco store, where I purchased the game from, to read specifically what they say is included. Maybe they did hide some disclaimer in there, like, the steelbook is for a disc game only. Would still be slimy, but, if they did something like that, at least you could argue they did mention it. Nope. When you select the Nintendo Switch version of the Anniversary Bundle, it just lists it as a metal case. I mean, I guess since it doesn't specify, you could also argue, hey, they didn't tell you were getting a Nintendo Switch metal case. But I mean, if that's your argument, I guess they could have sent me a PSP steelbook case, and it would have been fine, because they didn't specify. Yeah, I think whenever you buy a special edition of a game on whatever platform, you assume if you're getting some special edition case, that case is going to go with the version of the game you bought. I absolutely don't think in any way you could never convince me to believe that that's asking too much, that I should be able to just assume that the case goes with the game. So I've sent an email to their customer support because I guess this could still somehow be a major mishap. Just seems just like everyone who got a Switch version just happened to not get the right case. But again, I have not seen anything that proves a Switch version even exists. And like I also said, the collector box not having any branding on it makes me feel like they just shipped the same thing to everyone, regardless of what platform. The PS4 players, the Xbox One players, the Switch players all got the same box. Because the game itself was separate, by the way, I didn't make that clear. Like, they were shipped in the same cardboard box, but this standard Switch game case with the game in it wasn't like inside the collector box of anything. They were separate. So yeah, I assume they just threw in a standard copy of whatever game you chose with these collector boxes that are all the same. I can tell you one thing, there's no way I'm going to jump on any Bandai Namco Collector's Edition again without knowing exactly what I'm getting up front. Obviously, you can't even assume something as simple as the collector case you're getting will even be compatible with the version of the game you buy. I mean, imagine if this was like a big upcoming game that's going to be multi-platform, like, I don't know, Mortal Kombat 11, that might have, you know, a bunch of collector's editions. Imagine if there was a Mortal Kombat 11 collector's edition for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, and all the PS4 and Xbox One people got a f***ing Switch case with their game. I have a feeling you'd be hearing about that if that happened. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to vent about this crap is because I am going to do a video on the game itself, the Switch version specifically, and I do want that to be a separate entity. I don't want to be turning people off this amazing game that I'm sure is going to be sick to play on the Switch, just because whoever put this package together, and maybe even more so whoever signed off on it, were complete idiots. This was $100, by the way, for the package. You get a little window display, and an art book as well, but to me the steelbook was going to be the highlight. And I will say it is still cool looking. Like, if you got the PS4 version, I'm sure you're pleased with it, but it is incredibly cheap and lazy to just throw the same thing into the Switch collector's version as you did with the others, and not being upfront about that on the store page is deceptive at best. And it's not like making a steelbook is really that crazy or anything. I mean, you've got much smaller companies like Limited Run Games, they pump out Switch steelbooks on the regular for freaking indie games with much better collector content at a cheaper price than what you're paying, again, just for the collector stuff on here. I mean, the thing was $100, the game is $50 at the store, so you basically paid another $50 for these collector contents. Bandai, maybe you guys should just call them up. You should call Limited Run Games and they could explain to you how you do your job. Anyway, I'm not going to rant and rave like a madman about this for too long. Just wanted to point out this nonsense. And hey, if you're someone who also got this anniversary bundle on Switch and were similarly scratching your head, just know you're not alone, I guess. Hey guys, thanks for listening to me vent, I guess, about this Bandai Namco nonsense. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you want to keep the conversation going, hit me up on Twitter at Johnny Zakari. And join my Discord, ChiGuy and Friends, linked to both in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching.